The Niners did some things today. They brought in Wayne Gallman and Arden Key. Gallman coming from the Giants, running back. I think he played against the Niners last year. If I remember correctly, I think that was after Saquon's injury, so the Niners got to see him. And then Arden Key comes from the Raiders, the edge rusher. My friend, he's a Raider fan. He texted me right away and said, Arden Key is good. You're going to like him. So that excites me because he's one of the more negative Raider fans and doesn't have anything positive to say. So made me feel good. So Jason, just real quick, what are your thoughts? And then Vish, we'll get to you.
We talked about it before. Anybody who's played fantasy football knows that Wayne Gallman was very solid as far as production goes, because as soon as Saquon Barkley went down, he was plug and play pretty much. And not to say that he was doing what Saquon Barkley did, but he was very productive and very solid. So this is a great move. Honestly, if you want to look at it as in where he fits on this offense, think about it like this. He's better than Tevin Coleman. Much better than Tevin Coleman. I just don't know if he can pass pro like him. I have to dig into that a little bit more. But this is a very solid signing when it comes to Gallman. And we know how this organization views having many running backs. So this is just another great running back to add in there who can be solid. And if he's pressed into duty, you don't feel terrible about it, which is really what you're looking for.
Yeah. What do you think about Gallman's what's the word? Wildcat ability, though. That's the important question for this podcast.
I mean, at this point, it's really not going to be any comparison to Jet, but I don't think that's what he's going to be brought here for. So unfortunately, that's not fair.
It's not a fair comparison, but you got to ask the question. Then Vish, what's your opinion on Arden Key? What do you think he's going to bring? Is he going to be like a Kerry Hyder type, or do you think he's going to have a little bit of a bigger role?
I think more talented Deion Jordan. That's kind of who he is. Really long, really athletic. I remember coming out of LSU the year before, he had kind of a Randy Gregory situation where before the year he came out, people thought he would be a top 10 pick because he was this really loose, long-limbed athlete. And then he came into the combine and I think he was listed at 220 pounds. He had some off the field issues and he still went in the third round. So this is major talent. This is so low risk, high reward because the talent with the player is so high. And when you have Chris Kasarik, you're assuming that he could, if there's one guy that's going to get the most out of Arden Key's very, very vast physical abilities, it's going to be Chris Kasarik. So from that standpoint, I thought it was a really, really nice signing because I think you shouldn't expect Arden Key to contribute. Really, if he makes the team and he's a rotational player, it's a solid signing. But there is a chance where he could be a very good player for the 49ers.
Yeah, and edge rusher is one of those positions. I think I forget who said it today. They're kind of like pitchers in baseball. I don't think you could have too many. And so I wouldn't be surprised if the Niners maybe take another one in the draft next week. Obviously not in the first few rounds, but maybe a chance. But Vish, you also made a very good point. I think both these signings are very low risk, high reward signings. Just because, even with the running back, really any running back's going to work in Shanahan's system. He's going to make it work. And a guy like Wayne Gallman, I think he's going to flourish, especially in a rotation with Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert. So yeah, I think they're both very good signings and low risk, high reward. That's really what it is. Jason, do you have any thoughts on Key? I know you talked about Gallman there. Any thoughts about Key before we move on?
No, honestly, Vish hit it on the head. Didn't really have to, add anything else. If anybody can get something out of him, it is Kasarik. So, your idea with it being a Kerry Hyder-like situation, it's pretty much spot on. And I think that's what they're thinking as well, too. And, rotation, making sure you have fresh legs all the time. Mm-hmm. It's not the wrong thing to do. So, like you said, you can never have too many edge rushers. So.